The Chinese mantis sets the baseline for insect lethality. It grows to nearly 10 centimeters in length, and it operates with a reaction time so fast it can snatch a fly out of the air in a fraction of a second. That speed is backed by a highly specialized anatomy. They have slim bodies, a massive reach advantage over their prey, and a pair of spiked front legs folded tightly against the thorax like spring-loaded bear traps. But the insect kingdom is entirely unforgiving. Being a highly efficient predator also means you are a large, nutrient-rich target for birds, lizards, and frogs. Brute strength alone cannot guarantee survival if every predator can see you coming. To solve that vulnerability, mantises adapted. The Carolina mantis developed a simple but effective defense: color variation. Depending on their immediate environment, they can shift to a dusty brown or a vivid green, blending into generic soil, leaves, or bark. But basic color matching has a limit. As mantises spread across the globe from dense, brightly colored rainforests to jagged, bone-dry savannas, simply matching the background was no longer enough to hide them or help them ambush prey. To dominate these hyper-competitive ecosystems, the mantis family tree split into two opposite directions. They either had to figure out how to become entirely invisible, or intentionally evolve into the brightest, most noticeable thing in the room. In the warm, dry environments of the African continent, vegetation is often sparse and twisted. In a landscape filled with dead branches, standard green camouflage makes an insect an obvious, easy meal. Enter the ghost mantis. This species utilizes a biological adaptation called crypsis, a form of extreme camouflage, where the animal abandons the idea of looking alive entirely and perfectly mimics the appearance of decay. Looking at this anatomical breakdown, you can see how precise the illusion is. The edges of its body are fully jagged. It develops dark patches that mirror rotting plant matter, and its legs feature curled shapes that look like broken, brittle pieces of dried foliage. To complete the disguise, the ghost mantis rhythmically sways its body back and forth, copying the chaotic motion of a leaf in a breeze. This means they don't have to waste energy chasing after a meal. They wait in total stillness, completely ignored by the environment, until a wandering insect steps right into the strike zone. For the ghost mantis, survival is a game of omission. They erase the concept of danger entirely until the trap snaps shut. Thousands of miles away in the dense rainforests of Southeast Asia, the rules of survival change. This is an environment exploding with vibrant floral colors and intense competition for resources. Here, the orchid mantis rejects the idea of hiding in the background. It actively draws as much attention to itself as biologically possible. It uses a tactic known as aggressive mimicry. Covered in soft pinks and whites, with legs flattened out to resemble delicate petals, it doesn't try to hide among the local flowers. It turns itself into the flower to lure prey directly to its mouth. This diagram tracks pollinator flight paths in the rainforest. Bees and butterflies overwhelmingly bypass actual nectar-producing flowers, actively altering their flight paths to seek out the mantis instead. The target lands, expecting a rich meal of nectar, but instead they instantly meet a pair of barbed forelegs. It flips the standard rules of nature. The predator succeeds because the trap looks inviting and beautiful rather than dangerous. But aggressive mimicry carries a massive risk. When you evolve to be a bright, highly visible lure for insects, you also become a bright, highly visible target for every hungry bird in the canopy. The spiny flower mantis and the devil's flower mantis both use floral mimicry to hunt. At rest, their large size and spikes make them look like beautiful, slightly strange vegetation. Eventually, a bird or lizard will see through the disguise and move in for the kill. The camouflage fails, and the mantis is cornered. That triggers an immediate startle display. The mantis snaps open massive wings, lifting its body to reveal bold colors and giant eye-like patterns hidden underneath. This diagram illustrates the defense. The mantis projects a massive threat radius, appearing vastly larger than it is. The sudden flash creates a momentary hesitation in the predator's brain, buying the fraction of a second needed to escape. For these showmen, survival relies on theatrical performance, running an illusion so convincing that the predator decides getting closer is a fatal mistake. The mantis family represents a spectrum of evolutionary problem solving. Some rely on the physical power of a spring-loaded strike, while others master the art of disappearing completely or putting on a terrifying performance. Across all these diverse species, the mantis succeeds by manipulating the psychology and perception of the animals around it. They prove that nature's most perfect traps rarely rely on brute strength. The next time you pause to admire a delicate pink petal or watch a dry leaf tumbling in the wind, you might actually be locking eyes with a calculated killer.